Hi, I'm Sean Elliott. Welcome to Underwater Destinations. During the program, I'm going to be taking you on a tour both above and below the waves in sun-kissed Spain.
The Mediterranean doesn't offer great coral reefs like tropical destinations, but it can still hold its own with great visibility, flat seas and abundant marine life. Expect to see plenty of octopus, morays and large schools of fish, like Salima and two-banded sea bream. Or keep your eyes open for the rarely seen and spectacular marbled electric rays. Spain is the largest country in Europe and therefore offers an extensive range of possible destinations. We have chosen Benidorm on the southeast coast and the surrounding areas to give you a taste of what Spain has to offer. The best time to plan your holiday is from May to July or September to December. During January to April, you'll have trouble finding a dive school that is open. Although August is the most popular time to visit, prices are high, the beaches are packed, and due to being the hottest month, the visibility can be quite poor.
Benidorm is one of the largest tourist destinations in Europe and has been for many years, but it's only been the past few years that people have started to discover one of its greatest assets, its diving.
First, you'll need to find a dive school, which is a lot harder here than you'd expect. Costa Blanca Sub and Aquanauts are small, friendly dive schools that can help you in multiple languages. The best way to find them is to visit one of the tourist information centres. They can give you free brochures, maps, and advice on where to find the nearest diving centre, or check out the Underwater Destinations website. Diving is not a popular sport here for tourists, so unless there is at least 4 people in your group, it can be hard getting on a boat during the week. Also, don't expect to be able to do more than 2 boat dives per day. The most popular dive area is Benidorm Island, which local myth has it was created when a giant kicked a chunk out of the nearby mountain into the sea. However it was created, it has now become a popular day trip for bird watching and a lovely place to dive. The island has several different locations, enabling the dive schools to pick the calmest site depending on the conditions and your experience. There are plenty of shallow, calm locations for beginners, along with deep and drift diving options for the more experienced divers. The dive site on the west side of the island starts around 5 metres and slopes gently to nearly 30 metres, with the best diving around 18, and is my favourite dive site around the island. Water temperatures vary greatly during the year, from as low as 10 degrees in winter to surface temperatures as high as 30 degrees in summer. As with anywhere, visibility can sometimes be poor, but is usually in the 15 to 30 metre range. Expect visibility to be better in cooler months, rather than in midsummer, when algae blooms and thermoclines are likely to be present. Don't expect to see many large pelagic fish, but you will occasionally see barracuda patrolling the waters, and plenty of gilt-headed bream. There might not be many large fish, but the waters are full of small species like blue damselfish, the colourful peacock wrasse, and the well-camouflaged scorpionfish. The east side of the island is quite shallow, ranging from the surface down to around 20 metres. There are large boulders covered in different types of bright sponges. You'll also see plenty of large and colourful starfish. There are many smaller fish hiding in the reef here, with small schools like the juvenile blue damselfish. As juveniles, you can see where they get their name from, with their bright fluorescent blue colouring. But as they get older, they change to a much darker and drabber colour. Look closely at the rocks to find tube worms filtering the water for food, and the impressive large-scaled scorpionfish. There are some great macro photography opportunities, with dotted sea slugs and pink phlebinas making their way across the reef. The reef is a submerged rock formation located approximately 500 metres from Benidorm Island. The dive starts at around 7 metres and drops to over 30, and can be subject to currents, so it's not always appropriate for less experienced divers. This dive site covers quite a large area, so if you truly want to explore this dive, which is the best Benidorm has to offer, try and plan to do at least 4 dives at this location. Marine life here is abundant, with massive schools of 2-banded sea bream, salimas and white bream. The rocks are covered in many different types of colourful sponges and a few cold water coral species, and if you look closely you can find some small critters. The saddled sea bream at the top of the pinnacle are extremely tame and used to divers. They offer some great photography and videography opportunities, as they are quite happy to show off in front of your lens. Down deeper, looking crevices for weird looking forkbeard and the largest moray eels in the area. Due to the currents and the fresh nutrients reaching these pinnacles, this is the most colourful dive in the area. There are plenty of filter feeders attached to the reef, and it's a great place to film different types of blennies and gobies.
There is a huge range of accommodation here, starting from basic 1-star hotels to all-inclusive package deals, right up to the tallest hotel in Europe.
For first-class accommodation and views to match, you can't go past the Bali Hotel. In Old Benidorm, you can find plenty of cheap 1- and 2-star hotels. If you don't plan on spending too much time in your room, they can be a good cheap option, but they can get a little noisy. Staying right in the middle of town has the benefit of being close to restaurants and plenty of bars, and there is no need to worry about speaking Spanish, as English is widely spoken. The Crystal Park is a 3-star all-inclusive hotel located in the centre of Old Benidorm and offers good facilities with all the advantages of being in town. Most people choose to stay in one of the many all-inclusive resorts like the Monica, which are a little further from town but are much quieter and have better facilities. In peak tourist times, prices in these resorts can get a little high, but in the quieter months you can get very cheap packages, which are great value for money. These all-inclusive resorts normally have several restaurants, swimming pool, helpful information desks and bars, and if it's part of a chain you can normally use the facilities in all of the hotels. Due to Benidorm's popularity, make sure you reserve rooms well in advance, especially in peak months.
Aquanauts Diving is located in the Monica Hotel and offers Discover Scuba Diving and Bubble Makers experiences. The owner, Craig Johnson, has been kind enough to let me instruct one of his classes today. Don't worry about it too much, it's going to sound like a lot of information at first.
For those who have never tried scuba diving before, Discover Scuba Diving is a great way to have your first underwater experience. With total instructor supervision, it is safe, takes only a day and requires no previous experience. Discover Scuba Diving starts with approximately 1 hour of theory, where you'll learn the basics required to dive safely under instructor supervision. You will then complete your confined water session in the pool to learn important skills like mask clearing, to gain confidence before heading out to the sea. Aquanauts is the only school in the area that uses a pool to practice in prior to heading out for a sea dive. And although they are a little more expensive than the other schools, it is well worth spending a morning in the pool to gain confidence. After lunch you'll be taken to one of the local shore dives that offer perfect conditions for your first sea dive. You'll be fully supervised and guided by your instructor during the dive and will only be taken to a maximum of 12 meters. Aquanauts also provide you with 2 underwater photographs so you can have a souvenir of the experience. Discover Scuba Diving is not a scuba certification course, but can be credited towards your open water course. It is a great way to find out if you like diving or just a quick way to get in the water. Aquanauts is the only dive school in the area that offers bubble makers for kids. This program is for children aged 8 to 12 years old and is a great way for them to try scuba diving in the safety of the pool, and is also a nice way to get a couple of hours of peace and quiet for yourselves. Under instructor supervision, the children will be taught the information required to dive safely. and then taken into the pool to enjoy the amazing feeling of breathing underwater. Octopus are generally rare to see, but this area is full of common octopus. You can see at least one on every dive. There are approximately 200 species of octopus in the world, and they are related to nautilus, cuttlefish, and squid. The obvious difference between octopus and their relatives is they have 8 legs instead of 10, and have no backbone, which enables them to fit into very tight places. The name octopus comes from Greek and translates as 8 legs. Common octopus grow to around 1 meter in length, but have been known to grow as big as 3 meters. They live a solitary life, and when two meet each other, there is usually only 2 outcomes. They either mate or one will eat the other. They feed mainly at dusk and dawn on crustaceans, mollusks, small fish, and occasionally each other, and live for around 12 to 24 months. Females are generally larger than males, and when mating, the female has been known to get bored with her mate and decide to eat him instead. However, the female always loses in the end, as she will rarely survive bringing up her young. She guards her eggs for so long without being able to eat, by the time they hatch she will normally not be strong enough to live. They are very shy during the day, as they are easy prey for morays, sharks, dolphins, fish and humans. Although they are extremely intelligent, strong and have great eyesight, the only place they are safe is hiding in the reef, as they are very poor swimmers. Outside the safety of the reef, their main defense is squirting a smelly dark ink into the water and using it as a type of smoke cloud to get away. They can also change the color of their skin and even the texture to camouflage themselves against the background, making it very hard for predators to see them. Because they hide during the day and hunt at night, the best time to see them is during a night dive. At night here you'll find plenty climbing over the reef and sand looking for prey while using the cover of darkness to hide from predators. It is also easy to get close to them at night, as your lights will dazzle and confuse them, and they will often climb onto your light and your arm to find out what you are. Octopus are suffering quite badly from overfishing, especially with baby octopus being a delicacy in many countries. Please think about how beautiful and magnificent they are next time you buy seafood. The best way to get around is to hire a car. If you're planning on hiring a car, make sure you bring your international driver's license and ask about the local road rules before setting off. Week-long car hire is very economical. There are some beautiful winding coastal roads to drive along.
Another advantage of hiring a car is you can get to some of the area's most spectacular bays, offering great views and ample shore diving possibilities.
During the week, if you can't get on a boat, a good shore dive close to town is Cala Tuchimo. It is also a very cheap way of doing some diving, especially if you hire a car and bring your own dive gear. This dive has easy road access, is shallow at around 9 meters, and offers a wide variety of fish. It is also normally very calm, has no currents or tidal change, and you can expect very good visibility. This is actually the best place to look for rarer species like seahorses. They can be hard to find and see, so take your time and look carefully. You're also more likely to find them in 5 meters or less of water, so stay shallow as you go along the wall. Out on the sand, look for wide-eyed flounder and well-hidden marbled electric rays. They are very hard to see, but what you need to look for is the slight outline of their body and the black lure they use to attract prey. Make sure you don't touch the electric rays, as they pack a powerful punch with up to 500 volts. It won't kill you, but it will remind you not to touch anything down here. Smaller species like rainbow and peacock wrasse are very used to divers and will quite happily swim right up to you. Even though it's shallow, it is not uncommon to see large schools of thick-lipped grey mullet and solemas. Some of the best photo opportunities is with hermit crabs, or the very bright red starfish. One of my personal favourites is the large fried egg jellyfish that get blown in. Hiding in the reef you'll find shy morays, blennies and nosy painted combers who'll happily follow you around the entire dive. Watch out for larger species like greater amberjacks and common dentex who are cruising the reef looking for an easy meal.
As Benidorm revolves around tourism, there are plenty of activities for non-divers.
In Old Benidorm you can experience traditional Spain with paved walking streets full of restaurants, bars and cheap souvenir shops. There are many fiestas during the year and are well worth planning to see. Walk through the beautiful and quiet back streets up to some of the most spectacular lookouts you'll find in the area. One thing Benidorm is not lacking is entertainment, but like all beach resorts, the biggest pastime here is lazing on the beach in the sun and enjoying the warm water. There are plenty of water sports on offer. You can enjoy the thrill and great views by parasailing down the shore, try your skills on the cable ski, or take a ride on one of the many jet skis available. There are also plenty of boat trips and even a ferry out to Benidorm Island to do some bird watching.
A great way to educate and entertain the whole family for a few hours is to come to Spain's very own SeaWorld, Mundamar.
Mundamar has been operating since 1996 and in that time has had a huge success in breeding dolphins and sea lions in captivity. They have bred 7 sea lions like the gorgeous 4-month-old Eva and 7 dolphins, so make sure you time your day so you don't miss the sea lion or dolphin shows. The sea lion show goes for about half an hour, with several sea lions performing their amazing tricks. There is informative commentary about the sea lions and the problems facing their existence. At the end of the show you'll get the opportunity to have your photo taken with one of the stars. All of the shows have commentary in both Spanish and English, plus all signs and information in the park are also in German, Dutch and French. The dolphin show is very well choreographed, showing off their amazing intelligence, strength and beauty. Between the shows you can stroll around the park and have a look at some of the other wildlife, like the pink flamingos. At feeding times, you can have a go at feeding some of the sea lions.
No tourist destination can be complete without its own water park, and here at Aqualanda expect some seriously wet fun.
For adrenaline junkies there are plenty of fast and almost vertical slides. There is also plenty for the kids. They can play in shallow water pools and take more gentle rides on rings and mats. Some of the stars from Mundamar are often here, giving you the opportunity to snorkel and play with them. It's an amazing experience, especially for the kids. Don't worry about safety, as there are always plenty of lifeguards on duty. New Benidorm is where you'll find the fast food chains and the back-to-back shops aimed at tourists trying to buy cheap sunglasses, watches and jewellery.
During the day, New Benidorm is for lazing in the sun and enjoying the occasional souvenir shop, so if you're out in a dive boat you won't miss a thing. But when it really gets busy is at night.
There are plenty of nightclubs here, but for the best location head to the square where you'll find nightclub after nightclub, offering 2-for-1 drinks and dancing till 8 AM in the morning. There are plenty of restaurants, but nothing is quite like having dinner at the medieval castle. Enjoy eating as much chicken with your bare hands as you can, while you barrack for your team of knights. It's a great night, and the show they put on is excellent, with loads of people screaming and celebrating as the other side of the restaurant cheers their nights on against you. Make sure you bring plenty of napkins, a loud voice, and above all, have fun.
If clubbing or jousting isn't your thing, why not try a night dive here at Poniente Beach?
I wasn't expecting much from this site, as it was a less than amazing day dive, but at night it comes alive. There is 10 times as much life here at night than during the day, which is strange because it's normally the other way round. It's a straight wall dive, making navigation easy. There are no currents and it's only about 6 meters in depth, so it couldn't get much easier. One thing I love about night diving is that everything looks so much more colourful when using a torch. You can see the true colours and patterns of the marine life. The scorpion fish that come out at night to hunt are particularly beautiful under the lights. Instead of looking the drab colour you see during the day, they have spectacular patterns and bright colours. You'll find several different species in this area. This is the best time to see cuttlefish, and because of the lights confusing them, you can get very close and see colour changes in their skin as they try to threaten you. There are loads of common octopus at night, and you don't need to look very hard, as they will be calmly hunting in the reef looking for crustaceans. Jellyfish are also very spectacular, as the lights illuminate their clear bodies against the darkness. Although this is an easy dive, make sure you have completed proper training and experience with a qualified diving instructor before attempting your first night dive. It doesn't matter how much experience you have at diving during the day, there are special techniques required to be able to dive safely at night.
As you have seen, the Mediterranean doesn't have colourful coral reefs like tropical waters. However, it has plenty of spectacular marine life that's rare to see anywhere else. Add in the beauty of Spain and its many attractions, and that's why I think this makes a great underwater destination.
If you would like more information on Spain or one of our other underwater destinations, visit our website at www.uwd3tv.com.